Hey, welcome everybody to this new video. So I just came across this super interesting scene over here, and I instantly had the idea I want to shoot this. There's so much interest. So what makes this scene interesting is there's so much dead wood around, which has been sawn off very recently because there's so much of the material still left. And it's the contrast between the forest, which is still alive, and well, the sawn off, cut off dead branches and stumps on the ground. And also there's some light on the scene back over there. And I think that is really what caught my attention. I think it's super interesting. Just gotta find a way to frame it up. That's a little bit of the issue, because I don't want all the distractions in the foreground. I just want the sawn off wood, the trees that are still alive and blowing, and then obviously the light over there. So because the light over there, it's perfectly lighting up a spot where there's some dead branches around, and in the middle there's one stump that is still alive and glowing. Super interesting. So yeah, gotta find a way to frame it up. So I'm having a very hard time finding a composition. The issue is I would like to include this leftover dead branch because it's very big, it's very dominant. But then at the same time I want to have the scene over here, which is lit up, and all the contrast between all the dead stumps on the ground and the light and the ones that are still alive. The problem is just no way to frame it up in a balanced way, because this one is way too dominant, way too strong. This one over here. So if I go wide angle, then everything else just completely in the background, way too small, and no one is going to look at that. So yeah, not working quite well. I think I'm just going to take this scene over here. So I think I found something that works. I'm not quite sure. I definitely got to see in post. I hope it turns out. Yeah, but I'm not fully including this piece because it's just too big, too dominant, too close to the camera in the frame. So I'm just including basically a part of it where you can see it's dead, and then the stump that's still on the ground. I don't think you can see it from there. This piece on the ground over here. Then I do have these 4 trees, which are somewhat balanced, somewhat in harmony the way they stand, and also with the light, so it works quite fine. And then I have this. Well, it's probably dead for a little bit longer, but it sits on the left hand side of my frame, and it works as a balancing act. So this is a very hard scene. I hope it turns out, not quite sure, but on the back of the camera it seems to work for now. Also, I'm not going to add a polarizer. I don't think it's necessary. Not too much glare on. Wait, just let me quickly take this exposure. So I actually think I got quite lucky, because I had the camera set up just a couple of seconds ago already, and then the light, or like the very harsh light, was gone for a couple of seconds. Maybe the sun was blocked by a cloud, whatever. But I had some softer light, and it really took away the blown out highlights. And there's some other tree over there in the background which is really bright, and it would have been distracting, but in this moment it worked. I think now it's already quite soft, so I take another one. Yeah, I don't want all this harsh light, because the scene is going to be too contrasty, too high dynamic range. All the shadows are just going to be missed, and the shadows are important in this part because it's showing all the, let's call it, destruction of the wood. Yeah. I have no idea if this is going to work, but I quite like the scene, so I definitely wanted to shoot it. So for that reason alone, it's going to make it into the video. Enjoy! So I found a small quarry over here right next to the way. You can see the sun is lighting it up in full intensity. I'm trying to be somewhat quiet because this is a perfect spot to find some lizards. You know, they're on the stones, sunning themselves, getting energy. So I'm just gonna quickly have a look around. Maybe I'll find something. There's something already moving, probably because I'm too loud, but yeah, let's see. Oh, damn it. Jump scare. Jump scare. I would actually be very surprised if there are no lizards around, because just like a very hot spot being lit up by the sun in the middle of the forest, just on stones, so it's like the perfect warming spot for them. I'm already getting cooked by standing here for a couple of minutes. Wow, what a solitude and peaceful place over here. Have a look around, just like this open area in the forest. There's some beautiful pink flowers right over there. And I have this tree over here which caught my attention and I want to frame up. It's just like in the middle of nowhere, there's no distractions, there's no sound from any cars, just nature, just the wind, birds flying around, butterflies on the ground. This is why I do this. So peaceful and beautiful. It's amazing. Wow, the smell from all the flowers is so strong. Completely flooding my nose. So beautiful. So I do quite like this tree. It has some character, just like growing in all different directions. It has three, like the main stump is splitting up into three smaller stumps. Also like the texture on the stump is very cool. So the issue is just framing up because it's very, very close to all the other trees, so it's not sticking out. It does have the character, but just like blending in with everything else. So just by walking around here, I think I found the angle where it does stick out a little bit more. So I'm going to try that. Just going to replace the camera. Not replace the camera, reposition the camera. Okay, but also you can see, these are the flowers that I was talking about, which gave me the beautiful smell. Maybe I can get very low to the ground and I'll get some ultra wide angle stacked shot with some of the flowers in the foreground and the tree. Yeah, just gotta find out if that works. Not quite sure yet. So I found a position where the tree is sticking out a little bit more than on the first position, so it is a little bit better. Then I've added a polarizer just to emphasize the colors, get some saturation in there. And also I'm shooting at the widest open aperture, so 4.5 right now. Just because I want the tree to be sticking out as much as possible, just by giving it some depth of field in the image. So I'm overexposing this image quite a bit. Just the branches are somewhat bright and that really helps with not having them blend in with the background. At the same time then my sky is just completely blown out, it's just pure white. So probably just gonna have to bracket and trying to exclude as much of the sky as possible, but it's not really working with that one. Yeah, man, I'm not too sure about that one, but I do like I just like the scene. Oh wait, the light is going a little bit. Come on. Yeah. So shooting very close to the ground because I want the flowers and then the tree. Yeah, not quite sure if that's gonna work, but I'm shooting as a square. For now it works at least somewhat. Oh man, this is very hot in the sun. So I'm using the auto stacking, or like auto, it's called post focus function on my camera, where it basically just zooms through every focal point through the image and then automatically stacks them. I think I'm just going to do some manual too, but I do want to be sure that I have something that works and everything can be in focus. Because the last time I did this was like probably 2 videos ago, I'm not quite sure. But I was doing a very similar thing. I was stacking flowers in the foreground and a tree in the background. And I had a very hard time stacking them just because there was so much going on. So yeah, I want to try that with the camera built-in function now. And yeah, not quite working perfectly yet. So probably just gonna shoot it at like f16 just to get everything sharp or something like that. Yeah, just gonna try a little bit around. The first link in the description is my photography course, and I teach you everything you need to know about landscape photography, so being in the field, settings of your camera, post-processing. So if you do like my style of photography, you might be interested, check it out, it's the first link in the description. Also, if you do like my images and you'd like to have some of them framed up on your wall as a print, I have some of them available, it's also the first link in the description. Damn it. Oh, the deers. Look around. Come on, zoom, zoom, zoom. The deers over there on the street. You saw them, right? Yeah, there's still one. Yeah, there you go. Fuck, damn it. You hear that, right? I'm gonna amp the microphone. Man, that sounds like one of them is hurt very badly. Fuck. That's on my way, I don't want to go there. I mean, if it's like hurt very badly, it might be dangerous. Man, screaming like hell. So I'm equipped with my telezoom now, but I don't want to go. It's not coming in my direction, is it? No. Damn it, what do I do? But like, look, the sound is coming from right over there somewhere. Probably like 200, 300 meters. But also like this path is leading to the car. That's probably like 600 meters, maybe 800 to the car. Man, like, I kind of want to find out, to be honest, but also when I hear the screams, I don't want to go. 0%. The only thing I could do, which is this forest over here is very dense, but I could walk through. Probably at 200 meters I'd get to the street, which would probably be safe. Man, shit, what do I do? They're just standing in the middle of the street, have a look at that. They're just walking around. I'm here, they don't know. I don't really care, it's 5 now. Potentially, I mean, you heard that, right? It sounded pretty fucking horrible. What does the whole hurt? There's 5 of them, 7 of them. Wait, like... So, just a mountain bike passed me, so I think I should be safe to go too. Yeah, they're just... I can see them in between all the trees. They're just like probably 50, 60 meters away, just kind of like circling around. I mean, probably not circling me, but just looking, because I think they're split. Some of them just crossed the street again, got some cool images, at least that. Yeah, the screaming is gone. Probably just the male one being in the mood to mate. That's probably it. Alright, so safely made it back to the car. and I'm gonna end the video here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Like, share, subscribe, and definitely write a comment. This really helps the channel grow. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.